the Genesis stone, a stargate, 3 suns, 3 exoplanets, the Pleiades. X marks the spot right there. How does that decision or conclusion made? I'm looking at the Genesis stone from a whole new different angle now. We have some extra information that is breaking. The king's inscription on this tablet is of King Nabu Suma Iskun, and it's about a king who was very, very, very barbaric, and the story on the tablet explains how the gods had an interaction with this king and they changed his ways. He became humanitarian. This whole story is about to repeat in 2027, 2nd of August, as per the message that I found at Atlantis. A 4-mile wide geoglyph has the date of first contact. The ancients' bull worship and sun veneration obsession has a completely different meaning to what archaeologists are telling you. A sun and the bull of Taurus. It's a sun-like star that they venerated as the ancestor star in Taurus. That is where my work is different to everybody else's.
W.Herschel has dedicated his life to reviving the lost teachings of the Christ, ever since his near-death experience, and what he learned through it. A sense of responsibility to bring sacred knowledge forward persists, since it has the potential to unite humanity and end all wars. Wayne reenacts the secret hand symbols, and how to follow, the Orion cosmic signpost, identifiable with its now proven swastika nebula, to find one of 3 special sun stars. 33 degrees of arc measurement in astronomy lead us to our human origin star. Our sun resides near Sirius in the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy. On the other side of the Orion constellation, which acts like a cosmic signpost, follow the alignment of the 3 stars in a row. This is where we find the Pleiades and some notable sun-like stars in Taurus that this documentary we will explore. The G-class sun-like stars are known in astronomy by the catalog names shown.
The first degree tracing board details the story of the biblical Jacob's ladder. For Herschel, there are 3 Orion symbols on the very same Senmut beam of light or ladder.
Looking eastwards, through the window, the 3 pillars on the ground, like in Rome, appear to mark the 3 sun stars. They're rising above the horizon, shown in correct orientation with the Pleiades.
In a huge shocker, the stone design secret will overturn everything on record about it. The stone looks a little like a large champagne cork. A plug stone comes to mind. Is this how the ancients could cap a stargate, preventing a device from operating?
Now you can see these strange hats that the ancients wore with 3 horns, 3 Taurus horns on it. I believe this is symbolic of them being capped. 2 of them, that's why the 2 sleeping dragons are in that part of the story, being told here is 1 cap, 1 active, 2 capped. But this is only half the star map. Here's Pleiades, 3 sun-like stars. You can see one is a sickle crescent. It'll be a sun with a world in front of it. This is the sun showing a cross over it to tell you. You use the cross to find it, and it's blazing. And then the one just a star as the symbol for that sun marker. Now on the other side of it, we have the rest of the star map. This is where Orion resides. Orion, being told, is the 3 magi that follow to find the star. It starts off with the dog star, Sirius, okay, dog symbol in the air, floating. 3 land markers, pylons on the ground, look like flags with flags emanating from them. That is the teaching of following 3 markers on the ground. And then they tell the story again with 3 personified kings with dragons. There's 1 active dragon and the 2 here being held back on a leash, sleeping, inactive. But the most amazing thing about it is, okay, so it's Sirius, Orion, through the eye of the Taurus. Here's the target area, finding the cosmic Aldebaran star, the bullseye, to get to the rest of the star map here. Okay, but just going right back again, the big elephant in the room here is that. This is the whole story of how they got here. It looks like a mau mau, a very large object in the sky seen on the artifact. If you look at it in context of the whole thing, you'll see the graphics that follow explaining the whole story.
The capped Stargate claim, no doubt leaving you with more questions than answers. It's time to turn the pages of Europe's illuminated manuscripts from yore to find outside proof if two such portals were capped. And also, the role of the sacred cosmic dragon man teacher. We begin with John Dee's secret monad symbol that Wayne decodes here. It's the bird symbols and serpent interactions where he'll find the answers to the basis of humanity's beginnings. The Maya origin Mexican flag holds the secret. It reveals a powerful eagle and serpent interaction secret. The eagle stands for human founding civilization. Keep in mind its act of grasping and having dominion over the serpent, as the forgotten teaching is decoded. Our human founders controlling stargates is revealed.
This is how Dragon Man fits in. Here is one source. Before we reveal Dragon Man's identity, let's look at the three personified sun stars with bird beaks. The expressions of the faces of the two choking knotted cosmic serpents tell all. The crescent sun star beak personification seems angered. Despite a large beak, it falls short from manipulating the cosmic serpent and is cut off entirely. The middle sun star seems bewildered, its small beak preventing it from manipulating the cosmic serpent. The John Dee symbol with cross and bull horns reigns supreme. Its very developed beak can do what it wants. With the stargate, the cosmic serpent here is completely under human control.
In essence, what Wayne has decoded here is two obsolete stargates from two solar systems. They are capped as his Genesis stone and Mayan calendar theories confirmed earlier on. But who is the Dragon Man? As we look at the next example of Dragon Man, by famous prophet Nostradamus, we learn more. He appears to be a cosmic teacher involving the star map. The flame, the essence of his prophecy. For Wayne, the flame is synonymous with how humanity has tortured the cosmic dragon teachings, the essence of God creation. He is hopeful something is going to change this, and soon. Dragon Man in this manuscript is shown as a once much esteemed king. The sword, like the beak, keeps the conduit open, in the interests of its keepers. This otherworldly leader, we now know, makes his way to our solar system in Scorpio. What happens next is anyone's guess.
Seen in illuminated manuscripts, the Christ himself, many will now consider might have been the last great Orion man teacher. Herschel believes Dragon Man is also the title of the cosmic messenger teacher. Having tried to teach humanity, and our powers that be on many occasions, always rejected him. Let's see what the Christ was secretly encoded as teaching here. The three kings as Orion's belt and solar trinity will be revealed. His halo with cross title, one tiny sun star above it, and a sun with crescent. All coincide with the trinity symbols of the ancients. Three fingers identify direction to follow, while he points to Orion's belt. Orion Man, who is also Dragon Man, standing on terra firma, links up with our sun. Wayne's co-writer discovered that the Chi-Rho symbol of P for Pleiades is mimicked by the very friendly-looking, almost Pink Panther-styled cosmic dragon. The Rosicrucian four-petal rose cross is on the serpent body. But where is the Stargate ring device? It's hidden in plain sight. A very special collection theme of artifacts called Kudurrus show serpent dragons and cosmic serpents are both one and the same thing. Scholars refer to them all as boundary marking stones. It is now referred to as the Genesis Stone. The depictions and texts on them are all about the gods founding their land on earth. That is what is special about them. Take a moment to preview the general detail that Herschel has been able to decode. It will now be completely reconstructed in an animation. The 3 sun stars are here. The symbols that define each of them are the same worldwide. One with a crescent world, one with a cross, and one as a star. They are found near the Pleiades. Below them, 3 temples for 3 suns. As above, so below. 2 sleeping cosmic dragons. Plus 1 that is awake and active. Are the titles for the 3 temples. The Omega symbol is the stargate connecting heaven and earth.
The second half theme explains how the gods arrived through the cosmic serpent conduit. The boot symbolizes travel. The bird, to found civilization. And the greatest detail of all is Scorpio that we already know well. It is how our solar system is viewed from the Pleiades. Watch now how the receiving destination Omega symbol comes alive on Earth to receive them. This is the symbol it now changes to, depicting its activity. It denotes our sun, next to a rod with orb and mace. It is here in the temple, placed next to the 2 sleeping dragon temples, that are capped. Hence why the 2 dragons are shown here with upset faces.
That was one side of the Genesis stone. Now what about its counterpart, the reverse side? And we must still ask. Where is Orion? All is here. The dog star, Sirius, is correctly represented. 3 ellipse-topped pylon markers, with flags make for 3 stars in a row. You'll recall how the Inca gold disc had ellipses for stars. You will see just now how the ellipse re-emerges in the alien message at Atlantis. On the reverse side, again the story splits into 2. Seen here is how old traditions teach of the belt stars as 3 magi or kings. Their cross and sun star adorned robes speak volumes. 1 magi holds back the 2 angry dragons. The one with the active dragon holds a ring. Herschel says, it's likely the ring is for the bull's eye in Taurus, for target alignment. Most exciting of all, the stone showcases the celestial flying object as never shown like this. Wayne Herschel's analysis is likely to cause a storm. Imagine this. This object resembles what was seen in Phoenix, Arizona in 1997, and more recently, seen leaving our solar system. He says it may well return again officially, in 5 years at the ancient site of Atlantis.
Let's recap 3 suns in that position, 1 very important, found near the Pleiades, and They have exoplanets. One is shown like this in ancient artifacts. So I'm going to show 3 of them, all repeating from different parts of the world, saying the same star map and teaching of this amazing bit of information. Exoplanets, 3 suns. That one has a crescent. This one is larger, with it shown as the Ra symbol, the circumpunct, a dot in the middle. That is my origin theory of how this became the circumpunct. And then another one with a smaller sun. And they showed them quite interestingly. This one obviously with Orion. They showed this one with the Orion cross as being, that's how you find the most important one. This one has a crescent, and this one has a blazing sun. Those symbols are shown 3 times, 3 different civilizations. Our sun is here and the earth here, and obviously would have been stargates connecting between these, and those plasma ribbons connect to the planet, to the stargate, and same on all 3. And they seem to show 2 were capped, inactive, with a capstone. You'll see in the Maya calendar stone how the stone actually acted perhaps once as a capstone for a ring device. And you can show it also like this by blocking out the sun, like it looks like a big Pac-Man, and that plasma ribbon cannot activate. It's shut down. So 2 that are shut down in this way, 1 that is active with the cosmic serpent, 2 with what looks like obviously 1 star system, 1 large main star system. The other 2 fell away over time. We're looking at civilization 1, ground 0, where the origins of bull worship started with a crescent and a sun, and they all seem to have stargate devices, cosmic serpents, 7 stars, and a man personified as Orion, showing the way to those 7 stars. They all built pyramids. They all seem to venerate a winged disc. So there it is, ground 0, civilization 1, Atlantis, and it seems to have spread throughout the area that's highlighted to Sumer, into civilization Egypt, Inca, and the Maya. All seem to have those same features. They're all connected ancient civilizations from ground 0, the origin of Atlantis. There's the Sumerian Kudurru, the Genesis stone that we say comes from here. Now, I'd like to credit Muhammad Ibrahim here, his latest finding of the utterance that defines Orion's belt. These are the spoken words. Sahara are these 2 collections of pictoglyphs, hieroglyphs, that come from ancient pictures. Now, all I'm adding to this is what these pictographs origins have with this Orion's belt utterance. I'm also taking into account obviously Robert Bauval's Orion belt Giza theory. I take the star map in a whole new direction, showing all the other pyramids, there's 50 of them, make a complete star map with the exit marks the spot Sun Temple as the place of the gods in the 2-hour documentary. But let's have a look at this makeup. Obviously now I'm comparing it to the Sumerian Kuduru because there's something very similar here. Don't know if you notice it immediately. Orion's belt utterance has these symbols. Is it possible? Now this will prove the weakest part of that stone to date that scholars say isn't conclusive enough to be Orion's belt. Well, let's put it to the test now with Egyptian records. Obviously we're looking at the 3 belt stars of Orion as that title. So it's 3 stars having that title. In the beginning of the story we have a folded, they called it a folded cloth, and the papyrus and the writing on papyrus. But there's a little bit more going on here because the folded cloth is a very gentle fold. Okay, it makes the spoken word s, but why is it shown like this? And there's another part to play with the papyrus, the writing. Papyrus drying rack would have looked like that, so that it does not crease and the papyrus can dry as it is wrapped between cloth. This now takes it on a whole new direction because we have folded cloth with papyrus and writing on papyrus. It's a way of saying it is written, if those 2 are on their own, pictographically speaking. Then of course we have the bird symbol, which I've discovered in many other ancient civilizations shows to found civilization. Then we have this one, which is supposed to be just a twined bit of leather or something. I think it's a lot more. I'm sure it's coming to your mind immediately. What does that look like? Human DNA. And this is the evidence to verify that it is human DNA. Origins of the gods, born of the Taurus hippo goddess. This is where the gods apparently come from this birthing goddess. and the human code tied to the leg of the bull, which we know is the 7 stars of the Pleiades, with a sunlight star behind the bull's head representing the Pleiades. And of course we have Orion represented by Horus Sakar, showing the way to the bull in Taurus, the bull's leg, Pleiades. That is the human DNA part of it. So that's that one. Now we have the 3 flags on 3 poles. 3 flags and 3 poles. In ancient Egyptian history, they marked out the pyramids using, like any surveyor would, with a pole with flags on it. Their pylon temples were decorated with flags on poles as well, usually 3. But an Egyptian stela from Queen Mernith actually takes the Sumerian artifact a lot further. Remember, these are 2 different lands here. One has the, what I think are pair of dividers, or the alpha symbol that is for Taurus. Where that comes from is a bit of a long story, but I need to recap on it. That the Apis bull is the Aleph, which is the alpha. How did we get to that? And remember, there's the bullseye story. So you have Sirius, Orion, the 3 kings personifying those 3 stars, going in that direction. It goes to the other side of the stone object. So we turn the stone stela around, and on the back of it we have the Omega. And there, I flipped it around, you can see it there. There's where the Pleiades and the 3 sun stars are. So what we have from scholars is that the Apis bull is the origin for the alpha symbol, the Aleph, that became the alpha symbol. And all I'm saying is that it's Taurus, the bull. You see how it's tilted like that? That's why that is shown tilted. It's the bull, and its ears there and its horns. This is how the utterance comes into play in the book of Revelation, when the cosmic messenger says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. He's saying he's from the Taurus stargate. That man holding 7 stars is literally saying he is from the Taurus stargate. So he's showing where his 7 stars originate from. And look carefully behind his head. The halo, as in ancient records, they show the man that's personified as Orion man has this sun star halo crown. That's that star map. It's in position behind the Pleiades like that. And that, I believe, is going to take place, guess when? 2nd of August 2027, according to the message. That's 4 kilometers wide at the ancient site of Atlantis. So let's take it into a little bit more detail now. It has these little crosses added into it. Don't know what they are, nails or something, but it does emphasize the Orion connection here. That's basically the Orion part of Sirius, Aldebaran, and of course the Orion constellation. So we have a little bit more at play here. This base that these 3 pillars are placed upon, I think it is a belt, an actual belt, because remember, this is the utterance of Orion's belt. And how I take it further is those 3 orbs there seem to be showing exactly the same as the Orion man on the Inca artifact. He's wearing an Orion belt to show he is Orion man, who is the cosmic teacher, who is, in my opinion, the man that was known as Yeshua ben Yusuf, that we call the Christ. He was also teaching of his star, the Bethlehem star, same star. So basically we have now the star in contention now, so it's reading from left to right in this case. The star, and then of course the Neturu, the gods, star of the gods. That's pretty simple, but now the breaking finding is the whole thing as an utterance. That's Orion's belt, but pictographically speaking, it's saying, it is written, the founding civilization of human lineage follow 3 sacred markers of Orion's belt to find the star of the gods. That is a star map in its own way. It's just a theory. Is it a coincidence? But pictographically, if that's how they made these little pictographs that became spoken word, they are showing the story pictographically, what's important about Orion's belt. And of course, follow the 3 belt stars of Orion. There's the star of the gods through the bullseye. That's no coincidence that you shoot an arrow to find a bullseye target. That's where it originated from. And of course, I take the star map into a whole new direction, showing the original Orion's constellation, and the exit marks the spot with 50 pyramids in Lower Egypt. That's all in the 2-hour documentary. So we have an Egypt connection with Sumer, matching 3 markers with flags, and then the orbs. Big deal. They put the orbs on top of the pole here, and there it's shown beneath the poles with a belt, Orion's belt. As I said, Atlantis used the alien message with ellipses. The Inca golden star map uses ellipses for the 3 suns. That is just an ancient way, perhaps, of showing important stars. So let's look at the star map just quickly. So we have the dog star Sirius in the star map, okay? So that is the 1 star. Then you have the 3 Orion's belt stars personified by 3 kings. Remember, it's a double story, telling it twice, just as it does on the other side of the stone. It tells the story in 2 different ways. 2 Aldebaran. So that's the main star map. It's showing the way to what? Follow the other side of the stone. I've flipped it over now. Here is where the rest of the story lies. 3 suns shown in special marking ways with the Pleiades. And we're seeing that whole star map now in that stone. That is part of it. We have the utterance now in Egypt saying, okay, these are the markers that seem to be marking out 3 pyramids, 3 belt stars as being the most important part. That's the way shower to find the star of the gods, basically that. Now, both Sumer and Egypt have that connection. That's just 2 ancient civilizations with that utterance, exactly as we see here. So let's look at it again. So it's Orion's belt throwing the way through the bullseye to that sun-like star. Keep that in mind as we take this further, and why the bull of ancient Egypt had the sun and the crescent of the gods, the exoplanet associated with the leg of the bull that he's pointing to on the back of his, behind his head. Okay, so we have basically the artifact. We have the columns of writing, which I'm going to quickly just have a peek at here. Go through it very carefully. Press pause and read it carefully. It's speaking about a god interaction with the king of ancient Sumer, the king of Babylon. And they're speaking of gateways, stargates, 2 capped star beings, and how this king had interaction with the gods, and they made him change his ways. He was a revered new law king that issued new laws of humanity, being humanitarian. This is what's happening now in our world. This is a repeated story that's going to take place probably in 2027, where the leaders of our countries who are wanting to be warlike and manipulate humanity are going to be shown the right way, or we all return home. Think about that word. How do we all return home to the tree of life? It's the most terrible thing you can imagine. We are destroying the planet like a disease that has to change now. Our planet is about to be destroyed with global warming, and we are cutting down forests faster than we can replant. So here's a breaking new finding, February 2023. These 3 I need to show all are telling the same story. These are all Genesis records in their own right, but obviously the Sumerian one has the greatest record. The Inca one says exactly the same thing with cosmic serpents, Pleiades, 3 suns. Here we have 3 suns in the Maya codex, Codex Borgia, and the Codex Borbonicus. Show Orion, you can see the belts there, Pleiades, 3 suns, the bird founding civilization, a man in a stargate. Hang on a minute, a picture of a man coming out of a stargate with cosmic serpent. Look at it closely. This is not my wild imagination. Look closely at the man coming out the stargate. Let's take him out of the picture. That's what he's stepping out of. That's what he looks like, holding the ring device, just like the Sumerian artifact. 3 sun crown with little exoplanets on them. Isn't it amazing that this device, they even show it here with blue, like iridescence, like looking at water, just like the movie. They made a very good story to hide fact and fiction. That is the Maya artifact. There's other Maya details showing cosmic serpents coming out of the stargate, showing what I believe is that. You can come back and look at the close detail just now. Other devices shown on other Maya codices. This particular one showing cosmic serpents connecting to the different gods, and it's mounted on a base. This depiction shows the actual cosmic serpent connection, point of origin from the stargate to one where it's a point of arrival on Earth. The 2-hour documentary will cover all of these in great detail. The Christ story with a gate, 3 stars of Orion's belt, and an exoplanet, and a cosmic serpent dragon. That's all there. Ancient esoteric murals. This is one with a mural of Christ with 3 sun-like stars as his title, that there were 3 sun-like stars. And the sacred feminine with sapientia, with a T being of Taurus, Tau, Homo sapiens. just by theory. It's all covered in the 2-hour documentary. So is this. I'm not going to go much into this. It's in the documentary. But this Alpha Omega book is where we take the stargates into a whole new direction, which has been updated in a new publication that's been updated. So let's go back to the name for Orion's belt. Sahara. That's the spoken word. This is how the languages originated in ancient Egypt. But if we had to designate what star type that is, in other words, a sun-like star, you would be able to add a Ra symbol. But then it would read Sahara. Where have we heard that before? The Sahara. Sahara. Is that a coincidence? That the name of the area with the 3 great pyramids, the largest monument in the whole of North Africa, the greatest probably historical reference landmark for the whole of North Africa, that was once green, that became a desert after the Great Flood, was name given to that as a desert. The Arabic name desert is Sahara. I don't think that's a coincidence. Here's another breaking new finding. In Egypt there are 5 different temples that show this utterance, that reveals the source and activity of the stargates of the gods, that show capped repeating utterances of 2 of them, and 1 that is active that went in the direction of Scorpio. Think about that. Wow. The Hatshepsut shows a little bit more artistic detail for the capping aspect, which I'll show you how we reason that. The Ramses temple shows a little bit more with the Scorpion, that life was brought to our solar system that resides in Scorpio. Now if you're on a star program looking at where our sun resides, it's right here in Scorpio. We'll show you a graphic for that in a minute. So what we're showing is 2 capped stargates, and then it repeats the utterance of inactive. There's nothing happening with these gates. They're off, they shut down. But there is 1 active. See that one, the plasma ribbon bursts out. That is the one that shows Scorpio. It's connecting that the gods set out in the direction of Scorpio to find our sun. And that's what it looks like. If you go into a star program, click view from Pleiades, guess where our sun is? Right here. And then of course we've covered that. Now this part in the bottom shows how they ride these cosmic ribbons. The source of all these cosmic ribbon conduits comes from the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is this great light area that I believe I experienced in a near-death experience. I came to this place and wanted to bring it back as a sense of responsibility. This is what is shown in ancient records as well, people being taught about the cosmic tree, and that this cosmic tree is living. Okay, it's the creation of all time, space, matter, and all life. But look at the top part of it. It's showing how the gods traverse the heavens. From this tomb mural of a picture of Horus Sakar riding the cosmic serpents, multi-headed, because obviously there's 3 suns on one side and our sun on the other. But the amazing part of it is that plasma ribbon depiction inside an enclosed object. We've seen it also at Dendara. There's your pillar of life, the Tree of Life that is living creation energy. It's holding its own self. It's showing that it's made artificially and shown in a big plasma bulb type thing, which is like a plasma ball that scientists have made today, where you can put a large charge in a gas like argon, and you'll see these little ribbons. Now this is obviously a very unique plasma ribbon, one that is living energy that comes from the source, the creation. If ever there's a way of defining God creation on earth, it's this living light energy that's like a living cosmic serpent dragon that is conscious energy. So that's basically it. The 2 stargates were capped, 1 active. Now hang on a minute. Let's recap on that. So there's the patterns that I've shown. We're going to look closely now at when it's capped. The capping effect takes that effect right there. We're going to show now, compared to Egypt, how obvious they've shown it. First of all, on the Sumerian artifact, it's the 2 capped temples right down there, 1 active with the upside down omega. We have the esoteric manuscript that shows the same thing, crescent, sun, and 1 with a cross. Sun like a what do you call it? A blazing star. And 2 are capped with the knots, and 1 that is active. You'll see that in the 2-hour documentary. And of course, the Egyptian one. I'll look closely at these 2 right here. That's exactly what they're drawing. They're blocking out the sun star and making it just like I've shown here. 3 cases showing 2 capped, 1 active to 3 suns. two that were shut down. One, the most important one that most of our history reveres, was the last journey of the gods through stargates. And that is the story of the Genesis stone.
With the earlier Sumerian clay tablets' precise version of the cosmic human origin star map, and how it matched the template at Stonehenge, would come the mindset that had Herschel set out to search the Atlantic Ocean seabed. It would be this clue that would culminate in this documentary's biggest revelation.